Hello again, fellow BeachBum traders. Welcome back for part 2 of our weekly trading game plan for the week of March 14th through March 18th of 2022. And if you have not already seen part 1 of our weekly trading game plan for this week, Bears Make Money, we would highly recommend that you view that, as that has all the input data, news, market analysis, etc. that goes into picking our stocks to put on our various watch lists for our game plan for this week. So we'll get started. Okay, first let's talk about some trade updates, some trades that we opened or closed this past week. The first one is GLDI. We got stopped out of our latest long position in GLDI. We'd gone long on January 27th at 8.33. We've been manually moving our stop up as the price of gold has moved up. This is a gold ETN, pays a monthly dividend, so we collected the monthly dividend and we're manually moving our stop up. It finally rolled over, as we'll see in a minute, and we got stopped out, but we still made a nice profit, a 4% profit. Which is about a 3% per month ROI. So congratulations to all of our fellow BeachBum traders who were also in GLDI and may still be in if you're willing to hold it longer or you just want to keep collecting the monthly dividend. So if we briefly look at this, I'm on the stock screen of the online browser version of Webull. We can see, GLDI had run up over time as gold has run up, and then it finally turned over, and we got stopped out there for a nice profit. So we're going to take GLDI off of our main watch list, and we're going to move it to our bullpen, because we do want to keep an eye on GLDI and see if it happens to come back down again. That's one we want to keep buying in, going long, collecting the dividend, etc. So GLDI is, one of our favorite monthly dividend stocks. So the second one we want to talk about is SVXY, which is the short on the VIX, and we had entered our latest long position on the 4th of March at 47.76. And we got stopped out on 311 at 48.82. So you can see that was a nice profit, 2% ROI, which equates to a monthly ROI of over 9.5% for this scalp of SVXY. So again, if we look at SVXY, again, this is the short on the VIX. So when the VIX goes down, SVXY goes up. We can see it ran up nicely. Then we got the VIX started to go back up again. We got stopped out. We got a nice profit. We're going to continue to scalp this. We have already re-entered buys at the recent bottom. And with this upcoming week, as you'll hear in part 1 of this week's weekly trading game plan, we expect a lot of volatility. So we have buys sitting at this most recent bottom that will catch if the VIX happens to spike again. And then we will be, again, long SVXY, shorting the VIX down. And again, as we've talked about in the past, the way the nature of the VIX is it will eventually go back down. So I love this trade. It's a virtually guaranteed profit, maybe not immediate. You might have to wait, but you can't beat a virtually guaranteed profit, right? Okay, let's go over our updates to our various watch lists for this week. And the first one, you can see I've got my watch list, my main watch list that I watch real time during the week, pulled up in Webull on the stock screen. And we'll just go through the changes one by one. And the first one is we're going to add Budweiser, Anheuser-Busch, InBev. You should see we added that to the watch list on the 8th. It had come down. It looked attractive. We've owned Bud in the past. We kind of like Budweiser. And you can see we've done a previous due diligence video that you can see, and I'll put that in the description box below so you can see that previous due diligence video on why we like Bud. Some concerns about Bud, Anheuser-Busch, and you'll see a recent news article that they're pulling their production out of Russia, was that Russia exposure and how much that's going to impact them, so something to be aware of. And also the increased cost of grains and fertilizers that are inputs into their product, as well as things like aluminum and etc. So we have some concerns, but it looked like something worth watching. These concerns may cause an irrational reaction to the downside that may make it an attractive buy. So we're adding Bud to our watch list going forward for now. We're going to take CVU off of our watch list. You can see it's already run up. We have a few of them that we've been watching that have already run, and we're going to take it off for now. We'll take another look at it if it becomes attractive again in the future. You can see how quick and easy it is to remove things from a watch list in Webull. You just right click, hit delete. Okay, now it's off of our watch list. Now Drip and Gush. Drip is the short on oil, and as you're probably aware of our recent weekly game plans, we're holding a long on Drip, which is a short on oil. And we had it, when it hit about 100 or so, it spiked up above that, but we're not really concerned because of the nature of commodities. What goes up comes down, and what goes irrationally down comes up. That's the cyclical nature of commodities. So eventually oil will come back down, and we can hold this and wait for it to make our nice profit. Now, if you haven't already gone into Drip, you can wait for this crazy spike in oil. People say, you hear in part one of our game plan, people are talking $200, $300 oil. It's nobody really knows, and it's worth listening to the news. But when this spikes, you could take a long in Drip, and again, even if you don't get the peak in oil price, eventually it's going to come down. This is going to be a profitable trade. It's just a matter of how long do you have to hold it. Gush is the inverse of Drip, so that's the long on oil if you want to play a shorter term momentum trade, day trade. Gush would be the ETF that you'd want to probably long oil. There are other oil plays, USO, etc., but we like these leveraged ETFs to play oil. Okay, another one that we're adding to our watch list for this week, and you can see we added this on March 10th, is ELTK. This is ELTK Limited. They do printed PCBs, which is printed circuit boards, and you can see they recently had positive news. They received a letter of intent for purchase from an existing defense contractor with an option to increase the purchase, etc. So again, this is positive news. They're a low float. They kind of have some high debt, so that's a little bit of a concern. But they're kind of in the same space as Nano Dimension NNDM, and I've got some inside information of a defense contractor that uses NNDM, and I'm not sure if this is the same defense contractor or not, but this space has a lot of upside potential. We'll see how ELTK does, but again, in the long term, I see good potential in this. It is a low float, so it's going to jump around. So again, that's a little bit of a concern, but we're going to take a look at them, and if we get a good opportunity, we'll jump into ELTK. You can kind of see it's got a nice support down in this 350 area, so if we get a chance to buy there, we'd probably take a small position at least in ELTK. We're going to add Ethereum to our active watch list, and I hope to come out. I figured out how to watch cryptocurrencies in Thinkorswim and set price alerts on cryptocurrencies in Thinkorswim, and I hope to do a video coming out soon, so keep an eye on it. Keep an eye on our channel, click the notify bell, when I come out with that video on how to watch cryptocurrencies and set alerts on cryptocurrencies in Thinkorswim as well. Still working to integrate it into our automated systems, but at least those alerts should come through in our TOS alerts channel on our Discord as well by doing so. So we're going to start adding cryptocurrencies to our active watch list as they get interesting. Obviously they're very volatile, so we'll keep an eye on it. I'd kind of like it cheaper. If we get a real decline in cryptocurrencies, I'd like to scoop up some Ethereum. So you'll also see we've done several previous videos about how to create a watch list of cryptocurrencies if you want to watch a list of cryptocurrencies. Last week we added Solana to that list. And then also we recently released, premiered a video on how to buy Ethereum in Webull. So it shows you how, okay, if it does get attractive, you want to place a buy, it will show you how to place that buy in Webull. So we talked about Gush. INDL is the long on India. We're going to leave that on our watch list. I still like the prospects long term. I just like to get it at a better price. Cold and Boyle are, Cold is the short on natural gas. Boyle is the long on natural gas. And in part one we talked about, we saw that natural gas is kind of hovering in the middle. It's still a little indecisive whether it's going to run up or down. I like it at one of the extremes, one or the other. Either one is fine. So we'll keep an eye on those, and if we get an extreme in natural gas, then we would use Boyle or Cold to play natural gas. O is Realty Income, and we already hold a sizable position in Realty Income. And someone in one of the other chats pointed out that it was looking attractive again. So I'm looking at potentially doubling down on Realty Income. It pays a nice monthly dividend. Again, that's we've traded and held O over time, numerous times. And if it does become attractive again, down in the 65, below 65 range, if we get one of these dips, I might double down and take some more Realty Income. Again, this is one we've talked about in the past before we took our previous long position. This is real estate. They're what they call a dividend aristocrat, meaning they have raised their dividends numerous times consecutively. Again, it's a nice way, a good hedge against inflation because it's real estate, which is good. It's a diversification, again, real estate. And it pays a monthly dividend. So it's, again, a hedge against inflation. It's a hedge against the volatility. If we're in a bear market for, who knows how long, here's a great way to just collect your monthly dividend. You're not as worried about the price, the stock price of O. You just sit there and collect a monthly dividend until the market recovers. So I hope that helps. POW, we're going to take off the watch list. It's already run up. They were delivering ammunition to Ukraine. They had other news. It ran up. I'm going to take it off for now, wait for it to come back down, become more attractive. PZG I'm going to put on the watch list for your benefit. Is we've held PZG for quite a while. PZG is a gold and silver miner. We've been long since June of last year, which is fine. You'll see for quite some time when inflation fears started coming up, we started accumulating gold and silver stocks. And PZG was one of them, but I wanted to point it out because recently, the past week, it's tried to make a couple runs and then it's kind of failed, but it might be attractive for you. So particularly if you're a shorter term trader, day trader, a momentum trader, scalper, you can see there's some nice opportunities in here for PZG. So I'm putting it there again. We're already long. I'm not talking about increasing our position here, but for your benefit, if you're a day scalp momentum trader, this might be one that you want to take a look at. So I hope that helps. SVXY actually, as we pointed out in part 1, or in our trade updates, we got stopped out of our latest position on this downturn, and I have already placed buys, good to cancel buys out to catch this this recent low. So if we just get a spike low again on some volatility, it could be the Ukraine war, it could be Powell's, the FOMC meeting on Wednesday, it could be OPEX on Friday. Whenever the VIX spikes again, we're going to pick up that SVXY dip to short the VIX again. UVXY is the long on the VIX, so if you want to play that volatility from a day momentum standpoint, you can use UVXY. There's other ETFs, etc., ways to play volatility. I think playing volatility is one of the best ways to make consistent money, because when the VIX spikes, it's rigged, it's defined to always eventually come down. And then once it's come down, you can buy like UVXY, you know, we bought several times in the past, and you just wait for the spike, because eventually something's going to happen that's going to trigger an increase in volatility. You catch the spike, take your profit, etc. So again, I find this a great way to make consistent profit. TMB, we're going to take off. We moved to the bullpen as it had already run up. That's on the 20-year treasuries, and we'll look at that in a minute as well. VTI we've had on for a while. I'm still waiting for a little bit cheaper price. This is the total return ETF on the total markets, and I'd kind of like it down here, so I'm just waiting for that capitulation bottom again in markets, and hopefully catch. And we have orders sitting out, good to cancel orders just sitting here. And again, I'll make this point now, is you heard in both SVXY and VTI, we just place good to cancel orders, and they just sit there and wait for the price that I want. And that's a great way if you're working a full-time job, if you're in school, in classes, etc., and you can't be watching the market all the time. This is a great way to do swing trading, is you just pick the price that you want and put your good to cancel orders at that price, and then when you're at work or at school or in class or whatever, if that stock happens to hit that price, your order fills and you've got your position, and you don't have to be watching it to get the exact best top or bottom price. You pick a price that you'd be happy, you know, okay, I'll take it there. If it goes lower, fine, but you just say, hey, I'll take it there, and you put in your good to cancel order, and it can trigger while you're busy, not watching, laying on the beach. So I hope that helps as well. And then WWR, again, this is one I'm putting on our watch list for your benefit. We're already long. We've been long WWR since November 23rd of last year. You can hear back in that game plan, I talk about why and what the catalysts are for WWR. They're building a graphite plant in Alabama. It's in the construction phase. We're waiting for further catalysts that would trigger more of a spike in WWR, but again, they're supplying EV battery materials, and obviously that's going to be a hot focus in the near future with domestic. They're in the U.S. or in Alabama. So we're just waiting. WWR has a history of running, and we're just waiting for one of those big runs to take profits in WWR. I'm not planning on holding this long term. When it becomes profitable, makes that run, peaks, we'll take our profits and get out. So if you're not already in WWR, you can see it tried to make a run and it came back down. So there may be opportunities for you to get in and take advantage of that hot theme and this former runner. So I hope that all helps. Okay, let's very quickly talk about updates to our bullpen. I've got my bullpen watch list now selected in Webull. These are the changes that we're making this week. You can see from above. We had gotten stopped of our GLDI position, so we're going to put it back in the bullpen and wait for it to come back down. We're going to keep Corsair and DNN. We added GLDI. We're going to keep Grow. We're going to keep OESX. All of these, you know, they've just kind of, they're up above or they're breaking down further. You know, Corsair is just kind of breaking down, so we're waiting for it to stabilize. DNN is uranium. We're waiting for it to come down. We talked about GLDI. Grow is a cryptocurrency. It's been breaking down. I'd like it around, you know, cheaper once it stabilizes. OESX, I'd like it, you know, a little bit lower. It's a low float. Electronics. Pets we're going to take off. As you can see, it's kind of run up. It's pretty stable. It's been running contrary to the market, which is nice if you're in pets. But I'd kind of wait for it to come back down. So we're going to take it out of the bullpen for now. We'll revisit pets. We like pets, but we'll revisit it when it comes back down and hits our scanners again. PayPal looks like it got a stable bottom. It made a little bit of a run, and it may be coming down to that support again. If it holds that support again, that would give us a double bottom. I like double bottoms. A lot of people do, multiple bottom touches. So he may be put in the game pretty quick. We'll see. But we'll keep an eye on it, and if it does do that double bottom support, then we'll probably move that to the watch list. So please keep an eye on our Discord, etc., social media when we move PayPal into the watch list. TMB and TMF, they're the inverses on the 20-year Treasury. You can see TMF, you know, broke its 52-week low, and then TMB obviously ran up. Again, we're waiting the Fed decision to make any moves in any kind of bonds right now. So we'll keep them in the bullpen. We'll keep an eye on them, wait to hear the Fed decision, and then we'll move from there. Tate we'll keep on our watch list. This is a defense, low float. We'd like it to come back down, take an opportunity. We talked about TMF and TMB. Talked about uranium. Uranium still ran high. It didn't really get much of a decline based on that nuclear plant fire in the Ukraine. We thought there might be some fear of nuclear power. Now it is a renewable. They call it a renewable energy source. It's a energy source separate from oil, so it's not a fossil fuel per se. So it's been running up due to the oil price. So URNM will keep on the bullpen, and UUUU, which is another uranium play, will keep on the bullpen. And then Yalla finally did break down through its support, and we're going to take Yalla off the bullpen. I had a lot of questions about it. We've been watching it for a while, and it finally broke down, and we're going to remove it. So those are our updates to our bullpen for this week. If any of these do become more attractive, reach support, start to turn up at an attractive price, then we'll put them in the game, and we'll alert in our Discord and possibly in other social media when we put them in the game and update our watch list accordingly, okay? Okay, let's talk about some new ETFs that we've discovered and we're adding to our ETFs watch list in Webull. Again, Webull's nice. You can have all kinds of different thematic, etc. watch lists, and we have one where we keep ETFs that we want to watch. And here are some updates to our ETFs watch list for some new ones that we've discovered and gotten some help identifying this past week. So last week also in last week's weekly trading game plan part 2, I showed you briefly how we do a comparison and analysis on ETFs to pick the one that has the best range, the best risk reward, using this Google Sheet spreadsheet. And last week we looked at comparing the SPYs, the short on the SPYs. I'm also, and we'll see it in a minute, I've also done some analysis on the long on the SPYs, but this week I was interested in more ETFs to long and short gold and silver and some other commodities. As you see in part 1, there were some opportunities in those areas. several of these commodities look like they were peaking and potentially turning down, so I was looking for ETFs to be able to short these commodities. I got some help from some people in some discords and chats to identify some of these. I did some research in the ETF database, so I'll leave the link to our video on how to do that. And once I'd identified the potential candidates, I did that same process that we saw in last week's part 2 to compare them. So again, you'll see the process in last week's. I got their 52-week high and low from FinBiz, got their tops and bottoms from looking at the charts in FinBiz, identified which ones had the highest risk reward, the best range in each area, and you can see I've got them categorized based on the commodity and the direction now in this Google sheet. So I just then pick the one that has the best risk reward in each category, and I could prioritize them. So the ones we're adding to our watch list this week are those that I've highlighted that have the best range, the best risk reward for each candidate or for each category. You can see in these commodities, gold and silver in particular, you can kind of have multiples because some are based on the commodity themselves, an index of the commodity, and others are based on the miners. So like GDXU is based on the gold miners. JNUJ or JNUG, we've had in our database for quite a while. Those are smaller junior gold miners, and these things are going to tend, the miners, I believe, in my experience and opinion, will have a tendency to trail the gold price. As the gold price goes up, some of these other index-based ones are going to go up first, and then the miners, who are making money off selling that more profitable price, are going to trail. So again, there's multiple opportunities here. You can buy the commodity one first, trail it up or down, and then you can follow it with the miners, the lagging. And I would expect the larger miners to go first and then the junior miners to go second. But again, they're all worth watching. So we also heard of a new ETF to long or to short real estate. Called DRV, and so I did the research on that. It's the only one I know of to short real estate, so we're going to add that to our list, add that to our database, and keep an eye on that if we get an opportunity to short real estate. If you hear, and I'm starting to see videos of people predicting a crash in real estate, well, that may be an opportunity to play DRV on that quote crash in real estate if we start to see it. So we can watch DRV and see if there's evidence of that. So I'm adding all of these to our watch list going forward so we can keep an eye on them and take opportunities in those various areas as they come up. So you can see we're adding AGQs for silver up, DRV for shorting real estate, dust is gold miners shorting gold down with gold miners, DZZ for shorting gold, GDXU for gold miners up. And then we talked about, you saw the comparison of the SPY, the bull SPY for, well, last week we saw the shorts. I also did analysis and got some input on the longs on the SPY. So you'll soon, well, here's a link to this video. It's unlisted yet. I haven't premiered it yet, but as a bonus for watching this game plan, here's the link in the description box below on the video I did that shows in detail this comparison of the SPY long and short ETFs and which one we're picking and why. So you can see that. Here's CSL, which is silver down. It's shorting silver. And then here's our past video about how to find these ETFs in the ETF database. Here's a couple links that people pointed out that are direct links to the inverse of short ETFs on gold and silver. And I want to thank those participants from the following Discord servers. Shelley from the Benziga Discord server helped point out several of these long and short ETFs on gold and silver, and Kentucky hedge fund manager and actual retail indicator, Jen, in the Chartist Discord, who also helped identify some of these long and short ETFs on gold and silver. Also want to very quickly talk about a ticker, a symbol we want to add to our 3D printing watch list, which is a thematic watch list that we have for 3D printers in Webull. This one came up from the daily trade information that we get from ARC, and it was interesting. And if you don't know how to get those daily trade emails of what the ARC ETFs, Kathy Wood's buying, selling on a daily basis, we have a video that will show you how to get that. And even if we're not watching or interested in buying ARC ETFs right now, the information of those buys and sells I find is useful input. So I came across this one that ARCX, the space ETF, was buying this VLD, and I thought I'd take a look at it. And this is the company that 3D prints rockets. I think that's very cool. I have seen them on the news, etc., of how they're doing it, etc. It's very cool. So I wanted to add the BLD to our 3D printing watch list. It's not one, I'll show you the chart in a second, that we're really interested in buying anytime soon, but I want to keep an eye on it, and if it does become attractive, if they are profitable going forward, I'd be very interested in buying, possibly for a long-term investment, because again, I think that technology is very cool, combined with SpaceX and Blue Origin, etc. So it's cool. Unfortunately, it's a SPAC. You can see, and we'll see in their chart in a second, it's declined from their de-SPACing back in October of last year. So I want to add that to our watch list, and again, it's quick and easy to add anything to a watch list in Webull, and I have a video on how to do this, and I'll put that in the description box too. But you just do a search, you can click on the star, say add to watch list, and then we can pick any number of our watch list to add it to. So in this case, I want to add it to my 3D printing watch list. I just click the star, and now we will see VLD is in our watch list. Now we can quickly look at the chart. It doesn't look bad from 1 month, but if I zoom out a bit to a 6-month chart, let's go farther so the pivot points aren't so cluttery. We could see, okay, whenever you see anything that was sitting around $10, that tells me, oh, it's probably a SPAC. And yep, we can see it was a SPAC. Right at the point it de-SPACed, it cratered, which is a bad sign. It did make a run. There was some space hype late last year, but since then it has declined majorly. If we look at them in FinBiz, they're losing tons of money, etc. So I'm just going to wait and watch them and see if it eventually stabilizes at some good price and becomes profitable, and then we might take a look. But I just wanted to have them in our 3D printing watch list. Just an FYI, I saw Kathy Wood's ARC has been buying Stratasys lately, so I took a look at that. I didn't see anything that looked overly attractive. We've traded Stratasys. We've traded a number of these 3D printers in the past, and they all are kind of in a similar neutral position right now. So if we see opportunities, we will take them, but I hope that all helps, and we'll continue. So just to conclude our updates to our watch list, etc. There's really no change in our theory for shopping list. You know, we're in a bear market. It's a declining market. There may be opportunities that you feel things become overvalued. It hits a price that you're happy with. You've got your shopping list of stocks that you always wanted to own. And that's what it's for. So we're not making any change to that basic thesis at this time, and we will let you know when we do. But we hope this all helps, and we wish you the best of luck, and have a great trading week. The content of this video was produced by BeachBum Trading. We hope you will choose to also join us in the BeachBum Trading community and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Visit us at our homepage at beachbumtrading.com, the bum without the U. Similarly on Twitter, BeachBum Trading, bum without the U. On Facebook and in our BeachBum Trading Facebook group. Please follow us on Pinterest and on Instagram. All of the links to our social media sites will be included in the description box below, and we hope you will choose to subscribe to our BeachBum Trading YouTube channel and follow us on social media. Thank you. We also cordially want to invite you to our new BeachBum Trading Community Discord server, where we can have discussions on all topics related to trading, success in trading, investing, etc. You can see alerts when we make trades, changes to our watch lists, etc. So again, please join us in the new BeachBum Trading Community Discord server. You should be able to find a link in the description box below. You can also find a link in the social media category on our webpage, beachbumtrading.com, without the bum without the U, and also in the link section on the About page of our YouTube channel, etc. So again, we look forward to seeing you in the BeachBum Trading Community Discord server soon. Wave and say hello. We hope that you like our weekly game plan for the trading week for this week. Thank you for watching the video to the end. If you found this helpful, we hope that you will choose to subscribe to our BeachBum Trading YouTube channel, and please click the bell icon below to automatically be notified whenever we publish a new video. Please also share this with your fellow traders and friends via the share button included below. And let us know if you found our weekly game plans helpful in the comments included below. And let us know how we can improve. What would you like to see more, less of, etc. Thank you again for watching. Good luck and have a great trading week. Bye. If you like this video, we hope you will choose to subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking on the box in the upper left-hand corner. You can watch another video like this by clicking on the box in the lower right-hand corner. And we have a whole playlist of videos like this that you can access via the box in the upper right-hand corner. Our latest video is available in the box in the lower left-hand corner. We hope you like this and have a great day.